Hey, you, viewer. Yeah. Oh, no, hold on. Okay, scratch that. Hey, you.
You mean listener?
Listener. Yeah. You. You didn't click on the wrong thing. Stick around. Hey, no. Stay away from that button. Stay here. Stay here.
That was it. That was the big idea you were thinking of?
That had nothing to do with insurrection.
It really did not. It had nothing to do with anything.
No, that's fine. All right, we'll workshop some shit. All right, what insurrection bits do you have?
I don't.
You
have
don't
any.
need a
Matt
bit.
is the one that's like
That it's the bit. That it happened. And it was a real thing.
But what's going to be the pre theme song segment?
I don't know. It's a new year.
I don't know.
2021.
I was gonna say Happy New Year, everybody. This is this is our first. This is the first episode of 2021.
Yeah. All that shit's behind
and we're doing
us.
things bigger than ever. We're gonna have fucking fireworks. We're gonna have fucking girls. We're gonna have fucking dudes. If you're into that, there's obviously gonna be booze, cocaine out the wazoo. I mean, it's a whole new year for us.
Live shows.
We're not liable for any cocaine. Just wanted to put that out there for the
sponsorships.
Of course not. We're not liable for it because we're getting sponsored by Mr. Cocaine himself.
Mr. Cocaine? You got him on speed dial? Is that a thing?
I'm telling you, dude. It's a new year. Shit's crazy. The streets they're popping off. Hey, you want?
So don't go anywhere.
Bit?
Don't touch the stop button. Just stay. Listen.
Hey, listen.
We got a whole new format. We're coming into this year strong.
Yeah.
It's a slight change to the format. Let's not over
Well, you gotta over promise and under deliver on these things, you know.
I hear you. So, to undersell you and over promise, here we are, the Neat Boys Podcast, with your host, co-host. I still don't know, Rob, and my fellow host, co-host, Braxton.
Oh, was I supposed to say something there? Oh, okay. Hello.
And Matt.
Yo. What's up?
And we're here to talk to you about certain things that you may have watched and not watched, because we are a media analysis critique podcast, for those that are just tuning in, that has absolutely no good criticisms or analyses of media.
I mean, maybe you don't, but let's not wrap us all in. Yeah, I was about to say, I'm feeling good. Matt, you feeling good?
Feeling great.
We are a unit.
There you go.
We perform as one unit.
Yeah, I guess you're the weakest link. Sorry, man.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm the weakest link, we are all the weakest link. This is the worst chain. This is the worst 3-link chain in history.
But something tells me we'd still be able to storm the Capitol. Actually, scratch that. We would not be able to.
I don't know, man.
Yeah,
they
none of us are
literally
white.
just walked up.
I know, but there's a common
okay.
denominator that none of us have.
Don't
Ladders.
tread on knee flags.
We don't own ladders. You're absolutely correct, Matt.
Ladders. They didn't even use ladders. They used barricades.
Some of them did. They were literally. Yeah, true. But yeah, the world was weird. I'm just we're like as far away from that as possible, from a geographical perspective, more or less. So it's like, it's just weird to look at on TV, even though I don't have cable, but on Twitter. I mean, the memes were flying, but that's about it. That's all I can contribute to the conversation. The memes were wet. They were wild. They were untapped potential. I guess it wasn't untapped. It was tapped. They tapped the potential.
They tapped the potential.
We are overtapped. The well is dry. I feel like everyone just has there's a lack of things to do, so people are just bleeding shit dry.
Yeah, that's
no
actually
more
probably
horse
true.
left to beat.
Yeah, I mean, with the Rona out there, people have been confined to their houses, just bored out of their fucking minds, and now they can like do shit like fly across the country and get like shot by an FBI agent or some shit. So yeah, that's probably true.
That's what the world has come to, boys.
Hey, we're off to a great start. It wasn't even 1 week into the year, and we've had very exciting events.
To be fair, I would say that last year still started off worse because we lost Kobe in January. And I would say that hit harder than anything that's going on at the Capitol right now. So
I got engaged the day before.
Oh, damn. I remember you said that, yeah. Yeah, that sucked.
Up until
not your engagement.
the
engagement's fine, but before that.
Damn, it's been
things
a
were
year
set
now
into motion
since your engagement.
And Kobe.
God, that felt like, well, that's more important, Matt. Let's be real, Matt. That's what we're all talking about.
It still trips me out.
It was like, yeah, it was like two ends of the spectrum of disbelief. It's like, oh shit, like I did it. I'm moving on, and the other end is like, oh shit, fuck, I cannot move on from this.
Yeah,
but you know,
but you gotta move. You gotta move on.
Maybe just cancel the engagement and get engaged again for this year, so that it's all smooth sailing.
That's a good idea.
Oh yeah, really harvest the likes from Facebook and Instagram.
Hey, might as well.
Isn't that what it's all about? I thought that was the point of marriage, was just to get all the most Facebook likes you could get.
Are you really married if you don't announce it on Facebook?
That's what I'm saying.
Or Instagram. It has to be both.
Yeah, exactly.
And it has to be the same exact post with the same exact caption on both.
Don't even delete the old ones.
Nope.
Yeah.
For the likes.
You gotta do it for the likes. It's 2021. There wasn't enough likes in 2020, so we're here to harvest the good vibes, the good energies, and I'll leave that to you guys because I'm still hunting. I'm still truffle hunting for those good energies.
I mean, you're already ahead. You've already. I mean, I guess next one up would technically be Matt because him and Kay are just chilling.
Just hanging.
I'm single, ready to mingle. Well, I guess technically single. I don't know. Yeah, we'll call it technically single. So in order, I guess Matt's next to be. Well, because I'm talking to some girl on Hinge right now, but that I don't know if that counts because we're literally at the hey, who are you and what do you do stage. So it's really preliminary,
so slow.
Which is why
you should just go find some love on Parler. I heard it's bumping over there.
Well, I mean, it is banned. So what you're effectively telling me is that to be single forever and die is what you're telling me?
Oh
no, I'm just saying they really know how to get the ball rolling.
Man,
I think I'd honestly have a better chance at Grindr than I would at Parler.
From past experience, yeah, you probably would have a better chance on Grindr.
Braxton, all you gotta do from this point on for any of your bios is you may have seen me in Seoul.
Oh my god.
And then just bust out some piano riffs.
Just go in the zone.
Jesus
Get in the
Christ.
zone.
You know what? I guess it's not as bad as being like in college when the fucking what's his name? I'm not a rapper dude was at his peak.
Super
and I
hot.
couldn't go 2 steps.
God.
Yeah.
Super hot.
When I couldn't go 2 steps without getting compared to that guy. So I guess it's not that bad.
Dude, in high school, you compared yourself to him.
No, he wasn't around in high school.
Wasn't he? He was.
No, I thought, like, I remember freshman year of college, that shit was just banging.
Oh, that might have been when
maybe
it popped off, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have a good memory of high school.
I
Senior
just
year, at least.
vividly remember you ad-libbing at the end of all your sentences, but I'm not a rapper.
Can you just do it for
Yeah,
the
because
fans
that
real
was
quick?
at the peak. No, fuck that. Fuck the fans. Fuck them kids. If I was ever a media icon, I'd never want to fucking look at a single fan in my entire life.
Rude.
Well, yeah, but
Gotta
my
build that
fans would
community.
expect it, and they'd be like, it's like Endeavor. It's like, ew, I thought you were cool because you didn't talk to us. And now you want to talk to us? Gross. You're such a poser.
True.
But anyway.
Yeah, shit.
Also, it looks like Rob's mouth is moving, but I don't hear any words coming out of it.
Whoops. So, like new year, new you, same you.
New tech?
Who knows?
New technology for Rob?
Doesn't feel like I'm a new person. But you guys got any resolutions you're trying to fulfill this year?
The only resolution I was trying to fulfill was to reach 200 pounds, and was going at a easy clip before COVID, and now I am further away than I was. So that's still my goal.
Well, you're on the right track. You got some Lay's barbecue chips behind you.
I want it to be like a good 200, not a bad 200.
So just get like some Lay's plain.
Not
Yeah,
any
Diet
better.
Lays. Yeah, let me grab some Diet Lays real quick. I'll get right on that.
Just eat the rice candy Lays that I was talking about earlier, and you won't want to eat chips anymore.
Oh, hearing the words rice candy Lays makes me already want to throw up a little bit in my mouth.
Same. But
Well,
I
we
ate
come
whole
from
bag.
the land of Garrett's popcorn.
I don't like Garrett's popcorn, and that might be a hot take because I'm from here, but I don't like flavored popcorn. I just like the regular shit.
Huh?
Wait, so you... Whoa, hold up. There's a difference between flavored popcorn and some bland-ass, unbuttered, unsalted popcorn.
No. When I say regular popcorn, I mean butter.
But,
That's flavor.
like, cheese popcorn is so good.
Gross. Get that out of my face.
Especially when you get it all on your fingers, and you just lick that shit off, Braxton. It's delicious.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
the best
yeah,
part.
the butter,
Licking...
not cheese. Also, I'm lactose intolerant. Unless they have lactose-free cheesy popcorn, they don't.
Isn't it like...
I don't know.
The cheese powder is lactose free?
I doubt it. I mean, I'm not going to look for it because I don't like cheesy popcorn, but...
Are you lactose intolerant to where it hurts you, or are you lactose intolerant to where it hurts the people around you?
Yes, that one, the second one.
So you're not lactose intolerant.
Oh, you're fine. So you get a little gas. Fart a little bit. It's fine.
Well, yeah, I never said I
like you were
wasn't going
saying,
to.
fuck them kids.
No, I eat like like I eat cheeseburgers and shit like that. Like I'll do it, but like I don't want cheesy popcorn not because it hurts others. It's just because I don't like the taste, and I'd rather regular popcorn.
That's salty, cheesy goodness. Mixed with
not
the caramel?
cheesy, but salty. Yes.
Do you eat them together, Rob?
Gross.
The cheese and the caramel, or do you separate them?
Occasionally, I'll eat them together. It's not terrible, but it's kind of just like it's not. I don't know, man. It's not like revolutionary. It's like, oh, it's like sweet and salty, but it's like sweet and salty to where all the flavors are just like competing against each other.
It really is.
Yeah, it's not like they're cohesively coming together as like this like.
It's not like a peanut butter jelly.
Bomb. It's not like a White Rabbit Lay's potato chip.
That is a match made in heaven.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say match made in hell because it sounds awful. But I mean, you know, whatever. I'm a picky eater, so that's just me.
So just pick the Lay's rice candy chips.
No, no, absolutely not.
You're gonna get a package one day. It's just gonna be a whole box full of them.
I mean, if I open the package, I'm going to put it back in the mailroom and just and leave it there. Because what else am I going to do with it?
The rats are gonna attack that. They love Lay's rice candy chips. I've heard.
I mean, yeah, I could throw it in the dumpster, and when they take it out, they could eat it. But I'm not going to eat it.
To be fair, I don't even think the rats would touch it.
True. You're probably right. That's true. Yeah.
Since when do rats not like Asian food?
Since Wuhan.
Is that...
The good old Han.
Excellent. Very I almost said tropical. I'm so fucking stupid. Topical. Very topical.
Speaking of topical Asian topics, let's get into some patch notes. And Braxton, why don't you tell us a little about Yakuza Like a Dragon?
Putting a pause here just so you can throw in the music because you just went right into it.
Yeah, I got you. I appreciate it. This isn't getting cut out though.
Well, it is 2021, but it looks like some things stay the same, baby. Anyway. Yeah, so I've been playing Yakuza Like a Dragon. And Rob, you're the expert at Yakuza games because apparently you've played like the majority of them. But this is
I've played 2 Yakuza games out of all 7 of them.
I like how you sound like you're drowning when you said that, but you're just fucking vaping.
Shh, don't tell the viewers. I'm not trying to lose listeners right now.
Well, I mean, 2 out of the 7 is still more than my 0 out of the 7. So I proclaim you the expert on Yakuza games.
I am a big fan of the franchise.
So this, and it's funny. So this is a story of Ichiban
all about
Kasuga,
how my life got flipped, turned upside down.
Well, technically the story did flip his ass and turn him upside down from that perspective. So... like, the main story beat is that Ichiban is obviously part of this Yakuza family, and, like, he basically owes his life to the father or the hierarch or patriarch of this clan. And I forgot his name, which is kind of bad because he's, like, the main guy, but I haven't seen him in so long that I forgot his name.
Do you remember what family he's a part of?
He's part of the Tojo clan.
Oh, he's Tojo?
Yeah, he's Tojo.
Ooh.
And so he basically owes his life to the patriarch. And so some shit goes down. And basically the patriarch is like, hey, we need you to take the fall for this. And Ichiban's like, oh, fuck yeah, dude. I'll give my life to this fucking clan. I'll do whatever for this fucking clan. And so he goes to jail for like 15 years. And so the story then kind of begins with him relearning society as a guy who's just come out of prison, but also trying to learn, like, I'm not going to spoil anything because this is like all very early game stuff that kind of, you know, the twist kind of happens immediately, and then the heroes kind of work from there. But basically, as he's relearning society after his stint in prison, he's trying to understand how the Yakuza still operates ever since he's been gone.
What year does it take place during? Is it present day?
Oh. Okay, so there are smartphones.
Okay, present. Assume it's present day, as long as it's not flip phones.
No. Well, so it's funny because they do start with like those little Nokia phones when he's answering like phone calls at the beginning because it's 15 years beforehand. So then when he gets out of prison and like someone shows him what a smartphone is, he's like, "What the hell is this? I don't know how to use this." Someone has to like, and you have to find someone to teach you how to use a smartphone. And obviously, with every Yakuza game, obviously that's the quote-unquote serious story. But then, with every Yakuza game, 50% of it is serious, and the other 50% is fucking batshit insane hilarious. And so, basically, Ichiban is like the biggest Dragon Quest fan in the world. And so, most of the game is just a big ad for Dragon Quest and Dragon Warrior. And so he basically like to the point where eventually there's a plot point where his imagination runs so wild that anytime we get into random battles, the people we fight turn into like caricatures of like enemies. And then he looks around, he's like, "Did you guys not see those guys transform?" And they were like, "Transform? What the hell are you talking about?" He was like, "So it's just me? I'm the only one seeing this?" It's so funny. And then everyone talks about, "Oh, you're the hero of the party, and this is our party group, and, you know, we have to do things like Dragon Warrior or Dragon Quest. You know, you can't do things alone. Some people are healers, some people are tanks, and, you know, everyone has their own specialty." And it's just like a big thing about like Dragon Quest. So if you play Dragon Quest, I'm sure all of it will make sense in the context of the story. But so I've just done like maybe 5 chapters so far, and then I've just been doing a lot of sub story missions.
Dude, I feel like the side missions in Yakuza are they make the game for me. Like the main storylines are really good, but some of those side missions could stand alone on their own and be just as compelling.
So, Rob, you saw the photo where, like, one of the side missions was I was running my company to be, like, the biggest company in Japan, and my rooster was one of my employees, and she basically runs one of my companies. Her name is Omelet, by the way.
You cannot have a female rooster. That is a chicken.
Yeah, she's a chicken. I keep forgetting that. Someone told me that before, too, and I completely forgot. But yeah, her name is Omelet. She's a chicken. She runs one of my companies. But yesterday, I got done with a mission. I don't know if it's done or not, but a submission where this guy is called Mr. Masochist, and he goes from, what are they even called? Like, dominatrix location to dominatrix location, looking for someone that can actually inflict pain to him for the first time ever. And then he's like destitute because no one can hurt him. And then he comes to me and he's like, "Please have your party kick my ass as hard as you can. I just want to feel some pain again." And then he just takes off all of his clothes and he's like, "Please hurt me." And then you get into the battle and you can't do any damage to him no matter what you do. And I'm like hitting him with fucking hammers and knives and shit, and it doesn't hurt him. It's so funny. and that's just some of the shit that you expect. Like, it's like there's a really serious ass story, but at the same time you're like beating this naked dude for no reason. It's so funny.
That tends to happen, man. Yakuza 2 had a side mission where you have to go like explore this rival family and their business, and you get abducted and kidnapped. You wake up in this building, and all of a sudden the people that like beat your ass and kidnapped you are all dressed as babies because they have a baby fetish.
So they did keep that. I did do that mission where I literally fought a bunch of men in diapers in a nursery, and they were a Yakuza clan. But one of the things
I gotta get this game.
So one of the things in this game is the summon system. They call it pound mates, which is just a play on Postmates, but for people who pound your enemies. And so one of the people, so the chicken I told you about, I can call her on my phone and summon her as an additional summon. And the Yakuza baby, I can summon him as well to do damage. And recently I recruited a female crawfish. Her name is Nancy-chan. And when I summon her, she stabs people in the eye with her claws, which is very funny.
Amazing.
So yeah, I'm having a great time. I found like there's a Mario Kart thing. There's a Mario Kart side mission that I just found. There's just a lot of shit to do. And it's like I literally stopped playing the story just to do side shit now. I found a secret casino that you can only unlock by being like stylish enough. Like there's attribute points, kind of like Persona, where you like level up guts or like style or whatever. There's like a bunch of those for Ichiban, and so it was just a random coincidence that I talked to this random NPC, and he was like, "Yeah, you look stylish enough. Why don't you go on through this door here and touch the back of the wall and see what happens?" And I was like, okay. And then it was just, I found a hidden casino. I was like, oh, fuck. Okay. Sweet. I'll play some blackjack. Why not? So far, so good. All I have to say about those games is fuck Mahjong and fuck Shogi.
Dude.
Because I don't know how to play those games. And
fuck
I don't
Mahjong
want
and Shogi. I'm in the same
keep
boat.
getting my ass kicked every time I fucking want to try and play it.
Yeah.
So there you go.
One day Shogi will make sense, but today is not the day.
No, it will never be that day for me. But so far,
high
so
recommend
good.
right
I'm
now.
loving it so far. Yeah, high recommend. I don't have all the party members yet, just because I haven't gotten that far in the story. But there's I didn't even talk about like classes. So like you literally have to go to a job center to change your class because all of your jobs are like quote unquote real jobs. So my current party is breakdancer, Japanese idol, clerk, and foreman. And I can change those at will, but I want to. And chef. So those are my classes. I think when I started, my classes were hero, which is Ichiban because he's the hero. Homeless guy, which is your mage. Bartender, and police officer or enforcer. So
how's the battle system? I heard it's kind of simple. Like do damage, and then heal, like your typical.
Yeah, for the most part. So there's attacks, specials, guards, and items / summons. So for and this leads into another thing. Basically, you can after you fight a group of people, they get stored in your Sujimon bank, which is just a direct rip of Pokemon. And so you can find out their weaknesses and strengths. And so when you're fighting people, sometimes the cursor will say weak, or it'll just say nothing, and then maybe they'll just reflect it or deflect it or whatever. But it's an action system because if you just do regular attacks, it's pretty boring. But if an enemy gets knocked down, the follow-up attack, if they don't get back up immediately, does bonus damage. But if you do special moves, they will have you input stuff. So, for instance, my favorite move so far with Breakdancer is the windmill. So you basically have to keep repeatedly tapping square to as he's doing his flares real quick, and then once he gets to his final flare, then you have to press triangle at a timed point to do extra damage. Any of the summons don't really do anything, but if an enemy attacks you, you can press circle at the right time to do a perfect block, and it does less damage. But other than that, it's not super complex. Like your team will like pick up an item, like if it's nearby. Like if you press the attack button and Ichiban is like near like a bike rack or like a traffic cone, like he'll pick it up and like beat the enemies with that instead. And like if you knock someone into the street, they'll get run over by a car, like stuff like that. But in terms of battling, it's not that. You can turn your brain off if you get into a weak encounter. It's not that. There's even an auto attack button that will just do everything for you for the whole battle if you want. So
nice. Well, that all sounds like fun. I appreciate how they kept like the quirkiness of the Yakuza franchise in there. And speaking of other Japanese franchises making a comeback this year, I've been playing Final Fantasy VII Remake. And I think this is probably going to be the first mainline Final Fantasy game that I complete from beginning to end. I did this math the other day. I have started 8 different Final Fantasies, and I've only finished 1. I have played 3. I have played 7. I've played 10, 10-2, 12, 13, a little bit of 15, and then I played Final Fantasy Dirge of Cerberus, the Vincent Valentine third-person shooter Final Fantasy on PlayStation 2, and that was the only one that I completed, and it was awful. So it was campy. It's a campy-ass game. But without the context of Final Fantasy VII, it didn't really like grab me the way that a usual Final Fantasy would. But
that's impressive that you've played that many and have not finished more than just one of them.
Bro, they're so long, and honestly, I really wanted to finish Final Fantasy 12. That's the one I got on Switch, and I think I've talked about it before. But it gets to a point where like it gets super grindy, because where I need to go right now, it isn't very apparent what I need to do unless there's like some sort of trick that I'm missing. So I'm just trying to barrel my way through this dungeon, but like some of the monsters in there just keep whooping my ass. So I've been on a grind, and like I really don't want to have to, so it's just been put on hold. And I don't even know if I'm gonna go back to it. But Final Fantasy VII Remake has been it's a jump in terms of like where the franchise I feel like should be. If they remake every Final Fantasy game with this battle system, I would play the shit out of them. The battle system is my favorite RPG like battle system that I have played.
You didn't play 15, did you? Or not?
I played a little bit, but I think they made some tweaks there. I played 15 for like 20 minutes. So I didn't really get a chance to explore a lot of it.
That's fair. That game was kind of mid, but
I heard the story is just god awful.
Yeah,
but I'm willing to give it another chance after this.
I think after 10, I don't know what any Final Fantasy stories are after 10.
I thought you played 13.
I did. I don't understand the story.
I couldn't tell you what the fuck was going on in that either. And I made it to disc 2 in that game. So there's that.
I beat the whole thing and almost 100% of the achievements, and I cannot tell you what the fuck happened with like the third arc of that story.
Yeah, I have no. That was the first Final Fantasy that became multi-platform. So I actually got the Xbox 360 Final Fantasy Edition one, But the only thing that was different
yeah.
was that the hard drive said Final Fantasy on it. It was just another white Xbox. So kind of a jip, but it's all good. Yeah, Final Fantasy 7, holy shit. Like, the whole story's been gripping. I know that they, like, it's a teenager game, right? The dialogue isn't the greatest, and Cloud is like this big emo Sasuke baby, but I kind of love every second of it. Like, it's so good. Final Fantasy 7 feels like what Kingdom Hearts 3 should have been. Not in terms of tone, but from like a gameplay aspect. It requires some thinking. Like, you got to make some decisions, and there's enough complexities in there with the materia system that like you can do so much. So I was playing Cloud as like a midway point between magic and physical damage dealer, but then I recently got this sword that is just like OP magic. So I turned him basically into like a swordsman mage. And now my regular, you know how there's like different spell levels, like fire, Fire
Gu.
Yeah. His fire does as much damage as like Fyra does from like a mid-level Barret. So that's been really fun. And the whole weapon leveling system is like a fun thing on its own. It reminds me a lot of like the dress orbs from Final Fantasy X-2, and I think all the Final Fantasies have that system, but it's just polished a lot, so you get to look at like these little galaxies of upgrade tiers and stuff like that, and it's been sweet. And then just the fidelity of the entire game is just beautiful. Going from like the dirty, gritty slums of like Sector 7 up into the little hidden gems of like Aerith's house, and it's had me at a point in awe where like I just want to stop and like look at the backgrounds a lot of the time, because it's just a beautiful game. Every little coift of hair on Cloud's head like bounces when he moves. It's fucking crazy. And yeah, the characters are all awesome. It's basically just a very in-depth waifu simulator. Tifa is probably like half the reason why that game is amazing. Aerith is really cool too, even though she kind of looks like this ranch girl from like a Lil Nas remix music video. It's so weird. Like, it's jarring sometimes, and I know that this was a criticism of Final Fantasy 15, where like you and your boys are all strapped up in like all these awesome leathers and like zippers and buttons and stuff, and everyone else is kind of just dressed like they're going to fucking Walmart on a Sunday to go grocery shopping. And it kind of still keeps that same tone, but then you have like all the other quirky characters in there, like the burlesque club owner, who's like dressed fantastic and fabulous. And then you have like the Chocobo crew, and they're all dressed like ranchers, like cowboys and stuff. And you're coming up as Cloud, and like, you know, you got your fucking Japanese streetwear fit going on, and Barrett's like a eco-terrorist with like the cargo pants and stuff. And it feels like there's some continuity or like cohesion issues there. But then as like you progress through the story, it all just feels like it fits in part of that world. Like this weird cyberpunk dystopia where you have all these people from like... We don't talk about cyberpunk here. Sorry, trigger word. I know.
Yeah.
It just feels like in this dystopia, all these people came together with different backgrounds, and it comes together as like one cohesive world. And it's really cool. So I think I'm on the last chapter of that right now, and I don't feel like I'm going to get enough of this, especially since this is only part 1. So I went out and got Final Fantasy 7 and 8 remake.
Jesus.
Just so I know what goes on in that storyline. So I'm really excited to start those up after finishing this. But yeah, I love the combination of
just play the good Final Fantasy, which is Final Fantasy 6.
6? Where can I play that?
On an emulator, because if you play the one they have on Steam, they redid the art style and it looks like fucking crayons. It looks like shit. So if you want to play the actual good one, you play it on a Game Boy Advance emulator.
Is that Tactics?
No.
Okay.
6.
I've played 9 Final Fantasies because I did start Tactics Advance.
Oh, okay.
But I didn't finish it. And that was on an emulator. That's funny you mentioned that because everyone, like, it's so... Final Fantasy is so divisive. Everyone has, like, their favorite one. But for me, so far, 7 has been, like, the best. I hear 10 is, like, the favorite of a lot of people. 7 is cool just because, like, these characters are so ingrained in gaming culture that this is basically my first time going in depth into the story and being able to see like what's actually up with the story and these characters and the world building, and it's felt magical. Like I think about this game when I'm not playing it. Like I haven't had that feeling in a long time.
Yeah, I feel that's kind of how I felt around because I only discovered Final Fantasy when I was at a friend's house and he was playing 10 and it was actually pretty far in the game, but like the song or the Hymn of the Faith was playing in the background, which is like the main song of that game. And I was like, wow, this game is like beautiful. What game is this? And he was like, oh, it's Final Fantasy 10. And I didn't have a PS2 at the time, but when I got my PS2, I was like, I need to get this game because that was like the coolest thing I'd ever seen at that time. And then I can't tell you how many times I played Final Fantasy X, but like it was like at the time it was one of my favorite Final Fantasies. And then I discovered 6 and I was like, oh fuck me, this is a great ass game.
Yeah, I need to jump back in that world. Like I'm all in right now. There's so much history I need to fucking catch up on. But I think I was at the same boat. I went over to my friend's place, and we were both like huge Kingdom Hearts fans. And then he showed me Final Fantasy X, and after that, it was just like, oh, there's like an actual universe to Final Fantasy, and that was the point where it's like, oh shit, dude, video games are pretty cool. And that was like the first time experiencing like I guess you could say like a romance story that I could like resonate with at that age. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, Final Fantasy X is on the list too. I know that's a lot of people's favorites as well. And Titus is a fucking cool ass character, and you can't beat that laugh.
Is it Titus or is it Titus? Okay.
I thought it was Titus because it was like all the biblical references
personally,
they have.
I think it's Titus, but you know, some people say it's Titus. I think those people are stupid, but you know, we'll keep that on the hush hush.
I hope they do a remake of all those games with like the current battles.
They already did. They remastered 10 and 10-2.
No, I'm not talking about remaster. I'm talking about like a ground up remake where you can control them from an RPG action style and from like a stylish style.
That ain't happening.
Well, you know, we'll see. Because Final Fantasy VII was like the best selling game in Japan this past year, and it's my favorite game of 2020 for sure.
Damn. Banger.
It's been a fun ride so far.
You know what else is a banger? Monster Hunter.
Ooh,
but that's not about games.
Let's get into some Cine Matthew. Cine Matthew.
What's up, y'all? Been watching some movies, some shows. It's been a while.
No, I actually have not watched my what I put up. I only put it on here because it was topical, and also it was a huge failure.
Oh.
So I put up Monster Hunter. Not because I saw it, because I don't want to see it. Maybe I'll see it if it's like on Netflix for free and I am drunk and I don't give a fuck anymore. However, Monster Hunter has been or is currently banned in China, which means they're not going to make any of their money back at all. Which means if they were trying to make this into a franchise, it failed completely. And the reason for that is literally the beginning of the movie. They make a look at these dirty knees, Chinese, Japanese type of reference. And because of that, China was like, okay, this is offensive. Fuck you. So they banned it. And then Chinese people went to the Steam page of Monster Hunter World and vote bombed it because of the reference, even though Capcom really doesn't have much of a handle of the movie other than like the license and stuff.
What was the actual controversial phrase?
It was that was basically that. From what I heard, the English version and the Chinese version were translated slightly differently. And the English version, the two soldiers, it's literally the beginning of the movie. Two soldiers are talking to each other, and one of the guys was like, "What kind of knees are you?" And he was like, "What?" He's like, Japanese, Chinese, and he was like, you see these right here? Knees or whatever? I haven't seen the movie, so I don't know what the actual reference is, but it essentially somehow it translated to the dirty knees, look at these Chinese, Japanese reference that I haven't heard since fucking Family Guy. So because of that, I don't know what it translates in Chinese because I am not I don't speak Chinese. But because of that, China was like, "Oh, you thought that was funny? Well, fuck you." And then they pulled the movie, and I think their budget, I don't know. Actually, let me look it up for all the fun-loving Monster Hunter movie guys at home who love to look at production budgets.
Wasn't their budget like 112 million?
That sounds correct. Here we go. The budget was $60 million. They made 13.
My god.
But at least Tony Jaa's in it.
And Mila Jovovich.
Yep.
Jesus.
And that's about it.
So a lot of animals
that's why
elbowed in need for no reason.
Yeah. Basically, yeah.
My God.
Yeah, not great.
Pull up a
and then after that,
pull up a Rotten Tomatoes.
They pulled out.
It has terrible Rotten Tomatoes reviews. I think it has it's got 13%.
For how much?
It is at it's at a 49% tomato meter.
That's not bad.
But the audience score is 70%. The audience loves it. Except for China. China fucking hates it. But US, they like it. They don't care about Chinese people.
Okay.
Of course they don't.
Oh, okay. I pulled up the actual quote from the English version.
Oh God.
And it says the controversial quip from Monster Hunter movie involves a scene where two soldiers are talking to one another. One of the soldiers asks the other, "What are my knees?" And then he follows up by saying Chinese. Comedy genius, everybody.
Wait, was he Chinese?
I think one of the soldiers is Chinese.
But the one that said it wasn't Chinese?
I don't know. It says the line echoes a long time. The line echoes a long-time recent playground chant. Chinese, Japanese, dirty knees. Look at these. I don't fucking know. It wasn't funny, so why even put it in the movie?
Oh my God!
It doesn't make any sense. It's so stupid.
Dumb.
Literally one line of a 2-hour movie, and you get fucking banned from an entire country.
Yeah, that's probably
just
20 million.
Okay,
30
but
million
like
right there.
it's China though. Like let's not pretend like they don't fucking blow shit up that is not for the greater glory of the country.
Absolutely. But like, that line is just so stupid that like I don't even care that it's bad.
Oh,
because
yeah.
it's just so
It really is.
stupid.
That's a
it's
huge
corny.
overreaction.
It's so corny.
Yeah. It's like editors went through that and they're like, yeah, that sounds good. That's hilarious. I'll laugh at that.
I want to see the scene now, so I can be a better judge. But well, they got screwed over.
It's probably like 2 seconds.
Let's do a Monster Hunter viewing party.
For 10 minutes.
Honestly,
not even for 2 minutes. We'll watch the opening credit.
yeah, we'll do
and then that line,
It's just a super cut of all of Tony Jaw's lines, and then we can go from there.
which is probably no
Then we don't have
lines.
to
It's
watch
probably
it.
elbow or knee.
Yeah, all of Tony Jaa's sound effects, all of just like the.
Yeah. But I haven't seen a Tony Jaa movie in a while, so maybe I'll frequent it.
Oh, for more context, the Asian male character says, "Look at." The Asian male character says, "Look at my knees," while the other character says, "What kind of knees are these?" Jin replies, "Chinese." That's a knee slapper.
How is that offensive? I'm like struggling trying to figure out how that's offensive.
Yeah.
But
I'm
I
struggling
get it
trying to
from
figure out.
from the old saying, but
We need to find someone that speaks Mandarin that can translate the context of that from the Chinese version.
Yeah, I think the Chinese version probably got super fucked, but who knows?
oh god. Well, it's just the world we live in. PC world.
Yep.
That's not PC. But moving on to some PC movies. Soul, another Disney and Pixar classic. I know Rob saw it. Rob, what were your initial thoughts on it?
Matt, I will, before we do that, I know you said you didn't want to put this on here. Was there any particular reason why you didn't want to put it up?
Well, I thought it was okay. But, from an animation standpoint, Pixar always kills it. So they did a good job with that. The story, I don't know. I guess I wasn't too impressed, and I didn't really catch like a good chemistry with Tina Fey and Jamie Foxx. Jamie Foxx plays the main character. His name's Joe Gardner.
I didn't.
His name's
Tina
Braxton.
Fey was in that movie.
Braxton, or yeah. Tell us. I love how I called you.
Braxton
I think it's the
Jr.
first time I've ever called you.
I don't
It's a
know
great
if that's
movie
ever
about
been
Braxton.
revealed.
Yeah, I don't think Matt's ever called me ever.
No, it felt weird. And can we cut it? I just don't want to. I don't want that to be ever repeated.
I can censor it out. I'll bleep it out.
Yeah, please beep it out so that the people don't know what his first name is.
Please, you say that like Rob hasn't doxed me already like a gazillion times before.
Hey, new year, new viewers. We gotta start out fresh.
But with Soul, like, it did have its moments. But it's got a lot to compete with on Disney and Pixar, and I don't think it was necessarily up to par with some of the stories. Granted that I think that Disney and Pixar have been not doing as well lately, but that's just me. But Rob, what are your thoughts on the movie Soul?
I enjoyed it a lot. Sorry, I kind of had a stroke there. I enjoyed it a lot. From an animation standpoint, Pixar executed as usual. I loved how they threw in the whole extra dimensional being thing and mixed in that weird transparent 2D character design with your typical lovely looking 3D Pixar CGI characters. And then since it's such an abstract concept that they're conveying through the story, I feel like you needed that kind of like differentiation between these weird beings. But from that abstract standpoint for the story, I think there's a lot to be explored there. Like, it's not, I wouldn't show this to a child and expect them to understand like those kinds of concepts that they're trying to get across. But the whole fact of, you know, trying to find out what it really means to be alive, and that not necessarily being congruent to like a higher purpose, I thought that was a really good message to like pass along. Like, thematically, I really like this movie, because usually, you know, Pixar movies are like, do your best, believe in yourself, and you'll always succeed. And this was more just like, you know, you don't have to be exceptional to be fulfilled and happy. And I really enjoyed that message from the movie. But that was kind of my take on it. Some of the points in there got a little bit sloppy, and it does get really dark from a Pixar standpoint, but that doesn't necessarily kill anything about it for me. It was a very refreshing take on, like, it was like Pixar took that step to make a more mature theme story. And I really enjoyed it from that standpoint. And I didn't have to pay for it, so it was really cool from that.
So it was already above Mulan.
Definitely would not pay Mulan pricing for
I
watching
forgot
that
you
movie.
paid for that. Oh my god.
That was going to lead me to a question. Like, would you have paid Mulan
I didn't
price?
pay for Mulan. Mulan came out on Disney Plus, and
No, but I'm saying,
Soul
like, would
was
you have
like
paid?
included.
Okay.
I would have paid to see Soul. I don't know if I would have, like, I would have to split that bill. Like, I ain't paying like $33 just to watch that by myself.
Oh, that's way too expensive. Yeah.
I do like the points you're saying, because I guess I didn't really think of that in terms of like most other Disney Pixar films, where it's kind of just like, because it was like more of a mature theme, because it literally revolved around like this
death.
guy dying. Yeah. And now that you mention it, I love how seamless the 2D and 3D animation like worked with each other. That was like I said, the animation was phenomenal. They always do a great job.
Yeah, like, Pixar never fails in that regard. Like, all the facial animations are so expressive, and even when it comes down to like doing small things like picking up a cat or walking down a hallway, you really get the tone that character is trying to convey without anything being spoken. Like, it's Pixar. They always do a bang up job with visual storytelling.
It was just with me, what the issues I had with it were just like that it was such like a complex world, and like it was a pretty long movie still, like 2 hours, which is pretty standard for movies nowadays. But I feel like they just like, there was so much, and that
there definitely was. It feel like towards the end it overstayed its welcome, and the rules that it set up in that universe started to show some plot holes for me.
Yeah, exactly.
Especially with like the sign spinner, and like the message of being like a very spiritual person and having that tie. And I had to turn my brain off at one point, at a lot of points, just to be able to like keep going with the movie, because there's a lot of times where they're like, okay, so plan B failed, so we're gonna have to improvise and do this. And if you really think about that, like getting back into that world from the real world and how easy it is for some people versus others, it doesn't stick with me. But I know that's not what it's about. Plus, the whole ending of the third act was kind of lackluster,
It really
to
was.
how they built it up, and getting lost in the noise or whatever. It wasn't like the greatest, but I still thought it tied up pretty well in the end.
Mm-hmm. At a certain point, it felt like, okay, we gotta like close this movie, and it makes sense because they probably spent so much money on everything. But it didn't blow me away. I still think it is a good movie, and obviously it's historical. This is the first time Disney has had like an African American protagonist.
The Princess and the Frog.
Was that
Disney?
Was that Disney and Pixar? It was Disney.
It was Disney.
Was it Disney?
It was
Pixar?
Disney's
okay.
last 2D animated movie.
So
yeah, it was Disney. All right.
maybe in the Disney Pixar, because I think I remember seeing that. But yeah, you're right. The Princess and the Frog. But other than that, I think if you're interested, you should definitely watch it. But didn't blow me away, except for the animation, which Disney and Pixar always does that. But yeah,
cool.
Any last remarks,
So
Rob?
watch The Incredibles is what I heard.
Oh my gosh, watch The Incredibles.
Yeah, definitely. If there's any takeaway from Soul, it's watch both Incredibles.
Yeah.
Moving on, Rob, I'll let you. Which one do you want to start with?
We could start with Cobra Kai, season 3. That was just released in this new year, following up the overwhelmingly successful seasons 1 and 2. And it's a tough act to follow, and I really feel like they didn't deliver as well as they could have, having been a Netflix production and what I assume being a bigger budget. But it's the same campy SoCal karate story, and like midway through the season, I was like, this has Netflix money now. Where's it all going? Because there wasn't too many huge set pieces or anything that warranted it getting like the Netflix upgrade. But then there's points in the story where like, oh wait, Daniel-san is flying to Japan, and they're like bringing back they are very faithful to the old Karate Kid movies cast, and they bring back the same actors that they're referring to as they were children at the time, but now they're like adults and they're the same age. And the thing that like really was crazy to me that put in perspective was Daniel mentioned that like he at this time is the same age that Mr. Miyagi was during the Karate Kid movies, and that was kind of like mind blowing. So that was cool.
Oh my god.
But
Yeah,
like,
we're getting old.
Yeah, episodes like 1 through 7 all just kind of feel like more setup, and it's starting to feel a little bit formulaic in terms of like, okay, main character is dealing with a point where they need to progress in either skill or character, and then enter the antagonist who's like a new bully, and it's just like more new bullying situations and stuff like that. And it starts to feel a little repetitive, and to be honest, kind of feels like filler for like the majority of the season. But then 8 and 9 turn things around a little bit, and it becomes more of a progression with Johnny Lawrence, who's the rival karate sensei to Daniel, and the story's always been about him. He was Cobra Kai, but it rubbed me the wrong way, because like he's always been the main character, and they've always done more to progress him into like this more caring, up-to-date, compassionate like teacher, and it didn't really feel like he made that progress here. Like he falls back into old tendencies. They do build him back up a little bit at the end, I would definitely recommend if someone put out like an unofficial filler guide for this season, I would check it out because that last
a
that
filler
last
guide for
episode,
a live action series.
But that finale is so good. But then, like, as good as it is, it kind of just like slaps you in the face of, oh, this has all just been this giant buildup for season 4.
That's annoying.
And that kind of sucks because all the other seasons are really good as standalone seasons, and this one didn't really come through that way. But the choreography and the drama that comes in the finale, it makes up for it in that regard. But it doesn't make up for it enough to watch the entire season in one go. Like, I had to stop for a little bit after episode 4, took a little break, and then came back, and it slowly got better and better again.
They're probably just
Yikes.
picking at straws, you know?
A little bit, and they give a little bit more backstory to like all the shitty characters and try to make you feel compassionate for them, but some of them are just irredeemable.
Is Mr. Miyagi dead?
He is, yeah. He passed away in the early teens, I think. 20 teens.
Because I would say, let's just get Mr. Miyagi in with the new Netflix money they have. That'd be a pretty nice prop. Little CGI Miyagi.
I don't think they have enough money to bring it back.
Hologram Mr. Miyagi.
Because he doesn't need any lines. You know? He
They've
never
already
said any lines
established
in the
it.
Karate Kid.
Yeah, he did.
He talked the whole movie. What are you talking about?
Yeah,
No.
what are you talking? He has
What?
some really like profound things to say.
No, exactly.
And he's also
Wax
a
on,
giant troll.
wax
He's like
off.
a huge troll.
Exactly. He was a huge troll. He barely said anything, but when he did, is when it mattered. But they could take that sound from the previous movies.
Yeah, they're
would
just
always
deep
get Jaden
faking
Smith.
everyone anyways.
Exactly. And you have
But
Netflix money.
That's the thing. Like they've already like established that he passed away not only as like an actor but like as Mr. Miyagi.
But imagine
this
how
season
that
leans
could take
into
to
it
new
more.
heights.
Become a
Resurrected Mr. Miyagi.
become like a supernatural karate series.
We said he
That
was dead
is-
this whole time, but in reality, he was training. Could you believe it?
That's the next step. That's what's gonna turn Cobra Kai into the next. I don't know. What's a good classic series? The Sopranos.
Oh my god. The next Breaking Bad.
You never know.
Oh my god, dude.
You never know.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I would go that far, but if you're invested in the Cobra Kai series already, like it's a decent watch. It's average, but it's not terrible. They just left a very high bar with seasons 1 and 2, and keeping that pace. Like, I'm not a writer. I wouldn't know how to do it, so I'll give them that. It was still a fun ride, and looking forward to season 4 a lot.
All right. I'm still looking forward to that Mr. Miyagi resurrection. But since we're on that topic, let's go ahead and move on to iZombie.
Damn, that was smooth, Matt.
Please do not compliment him on that, please.
Ooh, 2021, new me.
Please.
That was a
Yeah.
solid segue. That was a really solid segue.
Please.
Um,
Don't. Okay, whatever.
Chill out over there.
With iZombie, me and Tin started this like on a whim way back in like 2016. And we were just looking for like, I don't know, something new to watch because Netflix didn't really have anything at that time, and I guess nothing really changes that much in 5 years.
Yep.
But they capped off the season, the series last year, so we caught up from where we left off in like season 3, and my God, does so much change up until that finale, and I like it. It's just a fun ride. And I've like, mark my words, in a couple of years or maybe even like tomorrow, this show is going to blow up and be like the next Firefly in terms of cult classic followings. Cause
it's getting canceled? Oh, fuck yeah,
it's
dude.
It's canceled already.
Oh.
They were canceled after season 5, so they wrapped everything up.
Oh, damn. That's
but part
4
of me
more
is
seasons
praying.
than Firefly got.
Part of me is praying that like Netflix will pick it back up and answer some of the open-ended scenarios that were left off in season 5. They're not like scenarios that leave you like wondering why the fuck they didn't answer them, but there's enough ambiguity there to leave it a nice little loose-ended interpretation of your own.
Am I thinking of the right show where she's like a CSI, like she works in the police department and she turns into a zombie somehow? This is that show?
Yeah, no, that's that show. It like the concepts are really cool. They basically turn like mindless zombies into this whole system, and it's what drew me in the first place. But the things they do with that later on are so crazy. But to like start like just have a basic understanding of it is that zombies in this are not what you typically expect from your like regular like violent rip your head off zombie. They could still be functioning members of society, but when you get afflicted with the virus, the zombie virus, you turn pale and your heart doesn't stop beating, but it only beats at like 10 beats per second, and your hair turns white. And the cool like concept that comes from being a zombie is that whenever you eat the brains of a person, you gain all their memories, but they don't come up at will. Like there's triggers that go on in life, and then you get sent into like this hallucinogenic vision of that person's memory, which is where it comes into play being a detective, like a detective's partner, because in order to like keep herself like fed, she becomes the the police department mortician, medical examiner. So they investigate like murder victims and stuff like that. And then as she's doing this, she starts to figure out like, oh, I'm getting visions of like these people like before they die. So she gets picked up by one of the detectives and plays it off as like, oh, I'm a psychic, so I can like see these things because of the mojo that goes on around them and stuff like that. But another like cool little quirky thing about eating a victim's brains is that you also start gaining some of their personality traits too. So it's a really cool vehicle for showing off Rose McIver's acting abilities, because she has to like play all these different kinds of characters and stuff.
Yeah, I was gonna ask if she ate a bunch of brains.
Yeah, she did. She gobbled them all up.
Is that all she? Is that like her favorite part of the human, the brain?
Oh, they only eat brains. They're not.
Oh,
like
they
cannibals.
only eat brains.
Yeah, they only crave brains. But like with that zombie system they have set up in there, if you don't like feed on human brains soon enough, then you do turn into one of those like mindless zombies. So in order to keep up appearances and fit into society, you need to be able to like continually like fuel yourself. Right?
Jesus.
With the later seasons, shit escalates, right? And all of a sudden zombies become a part of society, like modern day society. And then you start running into like these weird metaphors for discrimination and like segregation with zombies and stuff like that. And it gets a little touchy here and there. But for the most part, it's just like a super interesting concept, because you're seeing like how society would react to having zombies assimilate to regular everyday activities, but not in your typical like zombie apocalypse situation. Like they're still functioning members of society, and they want to be functioning members of society. But then you have all these rednecks that want to kill them all because like they're different and they're gonna ruin our way of life. And and
they took her germs.
It gets really on the nose because of those effects that happen to your body when you become a zombie, and like the racist term in quotes, I'm giving finger quotes, for a zombie from one of these like people that have no tolerance for them is that they call them whites. So like,
now that's my kind of show.
But you're in a situation where you have like these white redneck Pacific Northwest people calling black zombies whites derogatorily. And it's really weird.
Oh my god.
But then you have like those black zombies saying like, like I'm white and proud, and I'm paraphrasing, but it's basically along those lines. So I want to say it doesn't execute as well in that regard, but it's still a really fun concept to play around. I highly recommend this show if you're ever looking for something to watch, because like this show is just like potato chips. Like you just keep watching it episode after episode, wondering what happens next and how they're gonna solve these problems and stuff.
Well,
Rob,
check it out.
If you eat too many potato chips, you become unhealthy. And you know what else is?
They're rice flavored.
A great look. Okay, well, Jesus Christ, dude. You know what else?
Oh God!
Looks at what happens when you become unhealthy.
Yeah, splurt it out. Come on, keep going. Where are we going with this?
All right, fuck you guys. Chapter Black.
Ah, damn it! I wanted it to go. I did have another movie, but frick. Should we just move on to Chapter Black?
We're moving on.
Moving on. It was #Alive, if you guys have seen it yet.
Oh, dude, I love #Alive.
It's too late. You already used your one.
Zombie movie, great. Chapter Black.
All right. So, as I was saying before, I was rudely interrupted twice.
I'm gassing you up. Come on, get it out there, man. Segue us over.
There's a bunch of new fucking anime out, and one of those specific animes is Cells at Work Black. Finally fucking came out. Let's fucking go. So I know we talked about Cells at Work before, the OG Cells at Work, and I think season 2 is coming out pretty soon. But, it was a cutesy, hey, let's follow this red blood cell and let's learn about the body. Except it's made by the guys who made JoJo. And it's fucking, educational and also kind of funny. Well, that body is a pretty healthy body. But Cells at Work Black basically takes that and says, all right, well, what about a fucking fat asshole who smokes and drinks and, like, is a piece of shit? What does that body look like? And that Cells at Work Black. So we've got 2 episodes. The first episode was all about smoking. So basically the red blood cells are literally getting killed en masse. And getting, like, turned into... unironically, they're getting turned into fucking zombies. Because when a red blood cell absorbs... was it carbon dioxide or whatever? Or carbon monoxide? Mm-hmm. Like, it changes its structure and it can't absorb oxygen anymore. So they just personify that as all the red blood cells turning into zombies if they get in contact with it. And then the second episode was about being drunk. So there's basically sprinklers across the entire body that spray out alcohol. And since blood absorbs alcohol really easily, all the blood vessels have to basically go to the liver, which is like it's like a nightlife in Vegas where there's just all these hostesses, which is the liver. And they have to, like, entertain their guests, the red blood cells, to get rid of their drunkenness. but the fact that the liver is so overworked that all the hostesses are like super tired and like really struggling to do their job.
Oh my god.
and so it's like, and the episode that's coming up next is about masturbation. So all the red blood cells have to go down to the penis and meet the semen cells, and the semen cells are like trying. So, disclaimer: this is one of the few shows that I've read the manga for. I don't read the manga often, but I didn't think Cells at Work Black would get a anime. So I know in the manga they basically go to the penis and they're meeting the semen cells, and the semen cells are like, "Oh, I'm kind of nervous. I don't know if I'm gonna do a good job. I don't know if I'm gonna make it to the egg and become a good, a man or whatever." And so everyone like works their hardest to cheer up the semen cells, like, "Come on, you can do this. You're gonna be a great boy. You're gonna be great." Blah 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 blah. And then as soon as he's emitted, the red blood cells discover, "Oh wait, he wasn't having sex at all. He was just masturbating." So now that semen cell's dead, and all of his dreams and hopes don't matter. He's just killed
so
immediately.
dark. This is so dark.
And it was like, what's the point of living if you're just gonna get killed like that?
Oh my god.
So that's Cells at Work Black. It basically is existentialism through the life of a red blood cell in a body that fucking hates him.
That sounds great.
It's great. Yeah, that's awesome. I'm really happy they're doing this like in tandem. Like you can go back and forth between the positive and the negative between Cells at Work and Cells at Work Black.
Do they keep the same characters?
You never see the hosts in any of them. But yeah, so and Rob, to your question, so in Cells at Work, the red blood cells were females, and the white blood cells were males, gender swapped. So the red blood cells are males, the white blood cells are all females. Everyone is super overworked. So like everyone's fucking tired and like dying and shit, and like just trying to make it day to day each episode.
So Cells at Work Black is basically Osmosis Jones now, the anime.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
like,
amazing.
If the ending was that he decided to still be a piece of shit.
Awesome. I need it.
But that's all I had. I thought that was, it's great. I read through the manga, so it gets pretty. Like I thought the semen episode is like really funny, but like really depressing because like they really build up that semen cell. Like he's got like a anime backstory and everything, and it's just really sad.
Oh man. Well, staying on that same note of body biophysical topics, Matt, why don't you tell us a little bit about Parasite the Maxim?
So yeah, I'm not finished yet, but I'm getting along there. Izumi-san he's getting he's changing, but I like it. I think Migi is hilarious in how just like unemotional and just like motivated solely to survive. But he's kind of just like this really great sidekick. So I kind of like their dynamic. And now that Izumi-san is going through some change and just like how their relationship is developing, I think that's really cool. I like the action. The animation is pretty cool. The drawings, it's kind of freaky with how the parasites kind of just like, basically rip the person's face up and like turns into like this spiral thing with knives attached to it. The story's cool. I like that the parasites are kind of just all trying to figure out what's the point of all this besides like survival. But like other than that, no one knows what's going on. So can't wait to see where that leads up to. But yeah, you guys both watched it, right?
Yep. Good show.
A few years ago, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm getting there. I'm like halfway through the series now. But I like it a lot. It actually reminds me a lot of the show we're about to get in with you that I love right now, Jujutsu Kaisen, in like a weird way. But I like it. I like it so far. For an older one. Don't really have much else to say about it.
Yeah, I'd like to get back to you on that after you finish it.
Yeah, so
because I don't know where you are, and I don't want to spoil anything from what I remember.
It sounds like you're still early on, and he just became Peter Parker after the spider bite.
Yes, exactly. He's Peter Parker now.
Yeah. If he's that early, I don't want to say anything.
Oh boy, you are in for a ride.
I'm working on it. That's probably what I'm gonna do now. We'll see. But yeah, let's go ahead and move on to.
I guess this is life after Naruto, huh?
Yeah, this is. It really is. I like these short series though. I like them.
You should watch Steins Gate.
Welcome to my fucking life, dude.
I know that was next on my list too.
Oh my god, please watch it. Sometimes it gets slow in the beginning, but like, yeah, okay. If you have the time, definitely play it. For me, I really enjoyed the anime, but I'm not super into visual novels, and that one is a very slow to start visual novel. I'm probably like 3 hours in, and I'm still not at the point where there's like a game aspect to it. It's still just press A to progress the story.
There is no game aspect. That's the game.
But I heard you could do more funky stuff with like the cell phone later.
Yeah, you can pick. Like you can have. There's choices, but that's very small and limited in the story.
Oh shit. Okay. Well, for me, I recommend the anime then, because I found myself getting heavy eyelids every time I did a long play session of the game for Steins Gate.
And I'm personally partial to the visual novel. I think it's way better. But that's not to say the anime is bad. The anime is very good, but the visual novel just expounds on so much more. So.
And if you do watch the anime, watch it sub. The dub is good, but you don't get the craziness that is that's shown through the
voice,
the sub. Yeah.
Yeah.
I usually just stick to the sub for the most part.
You know, I think I watched the entire thing dubbed.
Yeah,
I watched the entire thing dubbed, but it's a fantastic dub. They do a really good job. But you can't, it's like trying to, what's a good comparison? It's like if you watch the Dragon Ball Z sub of Goku versus the dub of Goku. And Sean Schemmel does a great, no.
Yeah,
Sean Schemmel's Vegeta.
That's Goku.
Is it?
No.
Chris Sabat is Vegeta. Yeah, it's like Sean Schemmel to Goku in the English version is like the Japanese version of what's his name, the main character in Steins Gate.
The sub is better than the dubbed for Steins
Okabe.
Gate.
Okabe, yeah. I mean, everyone does such a good job in the dub. But even Okabe dub is really good. But Okabe in the sub is like next level.
Okay.
Because you get to hear his like crazy scientist laugh.
Yeah, the visual novel is only in Japanese, so that's like the OG.
Okay.
So when I went to watch the anime, I was like, I already know all these characters because I listened to them in Japanese the whole time. So I'm not gonna watch this dub because I already know what everyone sounds like.
Oh yeah, it would be a whole different thing.
Yeah. And the OVA is wonderful for that show as well. Steins Gate Zero is another conversation for another day, so I would just stay away.
Low-key, I love the subbed Goku, though. Sub Goku Gohan Goten. I think it's the same.
It's not my thing. After growing up watching...
Yeah, true.
Next question.
So Jujutsu Kaisen.
Kaisen.
Tell me, what are your thoughts on it now? What you like? What you don't like?
I think Jujutsu Kaisen is enough credibility to say that Studio Mappa is one of the bigs now. If it hasn't been before, that might be like some obvious bomb dropping there. But they're keeping up with fucking Studio Bones and Madhouse, and they are the kings of fucking fight animation right now.
They're doing every fucking anime now.
Dude,
one that matters, anyway.
They just picked up Chainsaw Man.
Mm-hmm.
Chainsaw Man is gonna be fucking dope. And I
know
know the last time
doing that, doing Attack on Titan.
Did Yuri on Ice.
I mean, they're taking over. Well, I mean, that's the only one that matters.
In terms of like action animation, Mappa is the fucking king right now. But yeah, I the last time I hyped up an anime like this, I think it was Dr. Stone with Madhouse, and it's been okay. I still haven't finished season 1. But Chainsaw Man.
How the
Chainsaw Man's gonna be
huh?
fucking dope, dude. Because Chainsaw Man, like they actually have fights and shit on there, and that's been on like my manga list for a while. But ever since the rumors came out that it was gonna get an anime adaptation, I'm probably going to wait. That's gonna be such a baller ass show. Mark my words.
Chainsaw Man.
It will not be a Dr. Stone. Yeah.
Hey man, I feel like we're not giving Dr. Stone a fair shake. We haven't finished it. I've been hearing
Dr. Stone is a great manga
I
story.
think that's
fucking
I think
awesome.
that's enough of a shake right there. You didn't finish it. That's it. The end.
Yeah, read Dr. Stone.
True.
Watching it, it's beautiful, but like we talked about this before. I forgot what episode. Yeah. But like you really don't need an anime to go over like, oh, let's go collect this resource so we can make this thing.
True. Well, the characters are quirky and fun.
They are. And later on they do get into some more like action-based conflict, and I'm waiting for it to get to that. But right now it's been kind of slim, so
I think
maybe I gotta dive
season
back
2,
in.
because that's like the title of Dr. Stone season 2 is like the Stone Wars or something like that. But I don't know what that means because
it's fun. It's fun, and I'm hoping that they execute well this time. It's Madhouse, so I have very high hopes for them. But yeah, back to Jujutsu Kaisen. Like, goddamn, that story. I feel if that wasn't on Crunchyroll, that could get so much darker.
It's
like
still pretty dark though.
I mean, it's pretty dark, but the things that they can depict, I haven't read the manga, but it feels like one of those things where we're starting to get into seinen territory, and they're censoring a lot of the violence that occurs in there.
My God. But it is pretty bloody and gore. But the animation is really good.
Yeah. And thematically, it is extremely dark still, especially with the main big bad in that. Like, he is fucked up, and the things he does to humans is so...
Not just...
like...
Oh, how far are you?
I'm caught up. I'm at the... wait, okay. Is there a mid-season break right now? Is there only 13 episodes out?
There are only 13 episodes out. I think it is a mid-season break, but it's supposed to be finished by March. So I think there's
finished
23, 24 episodes. First season. That's like...
Well, between now and March, there's not many weeks left to do another 13 episodes.
No, it would only be, I think,
unless
10.
they're doing 16 like Attack on Titan. Unless they're only doing like 16, 18.
I think there's like 10 episodes left because 13 was the last one we saw. So I think either it should have came out yesterday, or it should be coming out soon because it's supposed to be all released by March. That's what they said.
Okay. They might start it back up this week.
I'll wait. I'll wait till every episode is out.
But it is interesting to see where the story is heading. I feel like it's gonna be familiar because it's like there's a lot of just like, you know,
tropes,
a lot of things that we've seen before. But I like shoot, why can't I think of his name? Main guy.
Panda.
I want to see more of Panda, but I like what's his name? Rob.
Naruto.
His name's not Jujutsu?
Yeah. I like Naruto's story. And kind of just like a lot of the philosophical things that the demons are kind of going through. Like how I don't know any of their names. This is upsetting me because it's been a while since I've seen it.
I only know Goju.
Yeah, Goju. No, not Goju. Fuck. But the last dude he fought, who... It feels like everybody's story is to ruin someone else's life. Basically. That's like where all their storylines are heading towards right now. A lot of rivalries are being made. You know what I'm saying?
So like I see what you're saying. But what I like about that show is the interpersonal relationships between the academy students and teachers. Oh my god, the salary man is my spirit animal. Like, yeah. I feel like that's me in that show.
I know. I just love how it goes like into like their thought processes and like why they are the way they are. But the 9-to-5 man, he's dope as hell.
Yeah, and then the second he's the second he's put in a situation where he's working overtime, he just was like, "Okay, I'm pissed. Like, time to fucking roll these sleeves up and get this job done. I'm trying to get out of here." I vibe with that so hard.
I really love all the characters so far. The students, I feel like they need to get into more, but I think that's what it's leading up to, like a little student tournament or something like that.
Whoa, did somebody say tournament arc? Oh, fuck yeah, I'm in.
Oh, it is going to be a dope ass tournament arc.
I'm excited to see because we don't know what any of anyone's powers are for the most part.
Yeah.
We don't know their quirks?
Yeah, we don't know their quirks.
What's his name? Yuji. Yuji's the main character, and like he's still learning how to use his shit. But yeah, I really like that comparison you made when we first started. Yeah, exactly. Like he's using his natural like athleticism to carry his like cursed weak energy, spiritual prowess right now.
Yeah. It's like cursed energy is their chi or their like power source. But I can't wait to see what happens and like the other domains that the characters have. That's what I'm most excited for, especially with all the animation.
Domains is still such an abstract concept to me that like I can't.
Oh yeah, I feel like there is no limit to it yet, but like basically it's just like a fatality move is what I'm getting from it.
Except you can cancel and block against these fatalities if you're strong enough.
Yeah. It's like, nope, we'll go with my fatality.
Yeah. Hard countering your fatality, bitch.
I wonder if that's gonna lead to like if the domains are equal strength and like how that's gonna affect it, or if that's even how it works.
Definitely not, because who's the dude, the finger dude?
Yeah,
his domain ate up that other person's domain, didn't it? Or no, it didn't eat him up, but like the first time they come across that S-class demon in that like warehouse, and then the finger guy was just like, "You have a lot of potential, but you don't even know what true power is." And then he opens up his domain and you're like, "Oh shit!"
Yeah, that is ridiculous. But all the domains have been so like creepy and like I'm terrified of them. I'm just like, holy shit. I want to see where it goes from there, for sure.
Who knew the concept of infinity could be so terrifying?
Oh, I already know that. That shit's scary as fuck.
But the way that they visualize the power that infinity has is just like, oh shit, dude, just kill me now, please. Mm-hmm. I don't want to be a part of this.
So hopefully that starts up again. Gosh darn. It's been a while. I think since before Christmas.
Looking forward to more of that. And we are putting Attack on Titan on hold right now for reasons unknown. But once that finishes up, things will be said.
Yes.
Take notes.
I'm excited.
Take notes while you watch.
Oh.
I want to hear your thoughts on everything.
Tomorrow I'm a cream everywhere.
I don't want those
no
notes.
condom.
I love Lieutenant Dan Aaron.
It's pretty good.
Lieutenant Dan Aaron Yeager is a beast.
I just want to...
And that's all the Attack on Titan news we have today.
Braxton, I just want to put out there that, you know, like, sperms have a bunch you can't just go killing them all willy-nilly.
Sorry. Yeah, I gotta apologize to Sperm Sand and Sperm Coon after tomorrow.
What world do we live in where sperm cells have honorifics?
Anime, baby. Anime world.
There's a lot of anime coming out.
Yeah, it's fucking
this
crazy.
year. I'm excited. Did you
I need to get reestablished.
Did you watch Promise Neverland yet?
No. Oh man, I forgot to mention that.
Literally, the episode is hit the ground running.
Oh god. Oh, okay. I'm ready. Yeah, I'll probably do that after this. Thank you for reminding me.
But yeah, that's just like one of
that's a recommendation right there.
Obviously, Dr. Stone. Oh yeah. So 2021 already looking brighter. It's a new year. It's a new day.
You know what else is bright with my more forced transitions here? Our recommendations. And you know what the best recommendation is, since we all have Switch games? Is the
Lost
Monster
Daily?
Hunter Rise. Yeah, that too, yeah. But the Monster Hunter Rise demo came out. It's good. I played it. So, everyone who has a Switch, go ahead and play that demo.
It's good for 20 minutes, but it's only like two different monsters, right?
Well, the main hunts are 2 monsters. You can like explore and fight other monsters, yeah, but the main hunts are 2 monsters. But
well, shit.
This is as I told Rob and Jimmy before, this is the fastest Monster Hunter has ever been, from my experience, and it's really turning out to be a really good time. And there are rumors it's coming out to the PC. I don't know how true that is. If it does come to the PC, I won't get it for Switch.
I won't either.
But I don't know how true that is. But they're using a new engine, so now they can bring back monsters that they couldn't bring into World because of the skeletal problems. And yeah, it's great. I had a fun time. Graphically looks good.
It plays rough.
And the wire bug is a good mechanic. Well, to you it plays rough. That's because you've only experienced World.
We shouldn't hold games to the standard that they came out on. Otherwise, like, yeah, holy shit, like, fucking Final Fantasy VII Remake is amazing because it's not at, like, 60 frame per second, 8-bit, or 64-bit Sony
If
standards.
you deleted World right now, Rise would be the best looking Monster Hunter game. And feeling. Actually, it still
I'm
feels
just talking
a little bit
about
better.
frame rate, because that struggles to keep up with 30.
Same
Again,
thing.
I don't want to hold it to past performances. Like, sure, it plays better than like Monster Hunter on 3DS, but it's still rough. When the screen gets filled up, man, it will dip. It dips in frame rate from that 30.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
I'm hoping they optimize it enough on Switch. It's fun. But it's tough.
It's going to be what it is.
Thrust into a world of 60 FPS. If it comes out on PC, I'd be more likely to get it there. It'll probably go on sale faster on PC than it would Switch. Anyways,
I kind of hope it does come on PC. It looks very honestly, it looks like it'll be, because of the engine change, it'll be better than World if it comes out on PC.
Well,
like, it's not even a question.
Nintendo
It will just be better
still.
than. Yeah, I mean, but it will just be better than World in general if it comes out. And the problem is, you can't play any of the other Monster Hunter games on PC. You can only play World on PC.
That's
because
why
I have 4U
I don't have much
and
hope.
Generations. Yeah, so we'll see. I don't buy games at launch anyway. I'm sure Jimmy is creaming his pants right now. He's probably buying it at launch, but I don't do that. So,
Mr. Hipster over here, thrifty hipster.
I mean, we've seen the video game industry for what it is. There's no need to buy anything at launch. Or if you want to buy something at launch, like a PS5, you can't because they won't let you. So you're fucked either way. You either can't get it because it's broken, or you can't get it because there's no supply. So
That's true. And on that note, Matt, tell us about the Funk Volume podcast and why you're advertising other podcasts.
A traitor.
On our podcast.
Yeah,
So-
why you're a traitor, you.
It's titled the Funk Volume Podcast because that's what they called it. But so Funk Volume was this independent rap group that featured artists Hobson, Swizzy, Jaren Bennon, and Dizzy Wright, and they kind of just like fell apart. I never knew exactly what it was. I knew it was like an issue between Hobson and the guy's name was Dame Ritter, and how they wanted like the label to go. So they kind of just like fell apart. So this is more of just like a potential Funk Volume might be coming back recommendation, because like those were some of my favorite rappers. I feel like they're kind of like on that same level, like lyrically, as a TDE or a Dream. It's hard to say because those Top Dog Entertainment and Dreamville are really dope, but like they were along those lines. I feel like all the individual artists. So hopefully they come back together. But this podcast, they just released it on January 4th. It was basically just Hobson and Dame talking about what happened and like how Funk Volume came to be / like why they ultimately clash, had issues, and broke apart. So the recommendation is potentially be on the lookout for music if you listen. The most popular guy was Hobson. I don't know. I know Braxton said he listened to Hobson. Have you ever listened to Hobson before, Rob?
Yeah, I have. He's very kind of like.
He's like on the horrorcore side of rap.
I like his theme. It's just he has a very big ego about himself. Isn't he like the self-pronounced like messiah of rap or something like that? Like he calls himself that, doesn't he?
More or less, yeah. That's about right.
Yeah, he does have a huge ego, and they talk about how that happened or like how that took into the breakup. But I really do like him as an artist, irregardless of the ego. So hopefully they release some good music.
Did you just say irregardless?
Yeah.
I can't believe you.
What?
The grammar podcast starts now.
Irregardlessly.
Yikes.
Staying in the same lane as music, Kid Cudi is my recommendation, specifically his interview with Apple Music, because it is such a trip of an interview. And I might have been a little too inebriated at the time, but some of the abstract questions they go over in that, I need someone to verify with me that they are just two crazy people talking to each other.
Are you excited for the album? Oh no, you listened to the album.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Not good enough to warrant a recommendation to me over the interview.
Oh man.
Yeah, so go check those out. And while you're checking those out, you can tell people to check out our podcast on Spotify, iTunes, or Apple Music, depending on how they rebranded themselves. SoundCloud, YouTube, Only Spams, and I think that's it. Yeah, that's it. If you want to contact us, go hit us up on Twitter at NeatBoysPodcast, or email us at neatboyspodcast@gmail.com. And with that, thanks for sticking around, for selecting this off Spotify randomly. Maybe you just found yourself in a weird corner of the app, but, thanks for sticking around this long. And thank you for all the listeners that have continued to stick around. I think that's it. What do you say we take this time and come up with some solid resolutions for ourselves?
No.